Canyon. A salute to the Air Force men of America.
You are about to see an actual mission flown by the United States Air Force. All information, material, and incidents contained herein are now declassified. Headquarters, 4310th Air Division, Sidi Slimane Air Base, French Morocco. Flight order number 212, paragraph 1. Lieutenant Colonel Stevenson B. Canyon, serial number AO041044, will proceed as aircraft commander B-52, number 57238, on round-the-world flight departing Sidi Slimane Air Base 10 December for the purpose of testing refueling procedures and worldwide communication systems, by order of the commander.
Mother must have been a whip. I tell you, there isn't a bone in her back. Let's get a closer look. Luzette, you get a Vu the dancer and bring her a Vu back here.
Oh, boy, your French is marvelous.
No clock watching. You know, there's an old saying, a man who watches his watch is the last man.
Macayo, je voudrais vous présenter le capitaine Buckler et Steve Canyon.
How do you do?
Isn't that great? Everybody here speaks a foreign language. Even the kids. Notice that? Well, what'll you have, girls?
Tell you what, Woody, now that we have a couple of guides, let's get going. I'd like to see a couple more spots before we call it a night.
Oh, now, Colonel Canyon, don't you go talking that way. I mean, you can't call it a night in this joint before the sun comes up.
I'm with you, Woody. It'll break General Waybright's little heart if we don't show up fresh and sober tomorrow.
Colonel, how can you even think of General Waybright at a time like this? Come on, man, be human.
I'm afraid you're asking too much, Captain.
And who are you?
Why, I am a civilian. Poor, frail, human-type civilian who makes mistakes, gets drunk, and stays out all night. But he's right, Woody. You better be at that briefing tomorrow morning. After all, you've got to fly around the world.
Maybe you can explain where you get your information.
No, can't do that, Colonel. You know, security. Shh, hush, hush.
I know a nice, quiet place. We can go there. Come on.
Lovely thought.
Wait a minute, Captain. You can't do that either. You've got to get permission from the Colonel. The Colonel's got to check with the General and see what he has to say. And then the General has got to check his graph. Well, what do you know? They made a decision.
What's this bit about watches watching? He never stopped.
Except for that rain, you should meet good weather throughout. Now, the purpose of the operation is twofold.
I'm sorry to be late, General, but my camel got stalled in the North African traffic.
Of course. Gentlemen, this is Mr. Raiden. He'll be riding passenger on the flight for news service coverage. Mr. Raiden, this is Colonel Canyon.
We've already met, General. Well, you're looking very chipper this morning, gentlemen. Nothing like a good night's sleep?
Now, the purpose of the operation is twofold. First, we're going to try a new route for a non-stop flight around the world. Second, we're going to put the ARC-58 to its greatest test, by which I mean the ARC-58 will control the entire flight from the main SAC base in Omaha, which will be Mixmaster.
The ARC-58, is that the new radio they've been telling us about?
Well, it isn't exactly new, Mr. Radin. However, it's only recently been perfected and installed in aircraft.
How does it work?
Basically, the ARC-58 allows the aircraft to maintain contact with a single base at all times and under all conditions.
No more fiddling with dials, in other words.
Yeah, that's right, Mr. Radin. No fiddling with dials. Now, our route will be this. CD Slimane to the Philippines, where we take on fuel. Then, other in-flight refueling at Fairbanks, Alaska. Then, Andrews Air Force Base near Washington, back to French Morocco. We hope to better the present round-the-world record by at least 4 hours. Departure will be at 0600. Are there any questions?
If the crew doesn't have to bother with a radio, what is there left for them to do?
I don't believe I understand the question.
I think Mr. Radin is saying he doesn't care much for the Air Force, period.
On the contrary, Colonel. As a matter of fact, I've always had a great love for machinery.
What's that crack supposed to mean?
Not a thing, Captain. I think the Air Force is the finest machine in the world, but it's all machine. I'm wondering why they're still bothering with human beings. All the thinking is done on the ground. Why is it necessary to have human beings up there at all?
I can think of one who isn't exactly necessary on this flight anyway.
I'm not here by choice. I'm here by assignment.
Now, gentlemen, this is a conversation I'd rather like to take part in. But, unfortunately, as yet, no one has invented a machine to take my place. And I have work to do. Takeoff is at 0600.
Group attention. All right, man. Just a minute, Mr. Radin. I think you've got some wrong ideas about us. If I could buy you a cup of coffee, maybe we could talk it over.
Save your breath.
Okay.
That's right, Steve. Don't confuse him with facts. His mind's already made up. Besides, what's a guy like him know about it anyway?
A little. It might interest you to know that I was a major in the Air Corps during World War II.
Now tell me how different it was.
You can bet your sweet life it was different, Captain. And the difference was we flew our own planes. Our planes didn't fly us. And we didn't have any help either. Today, the crew is the only imperfect part of an aircraft. Canyon, you may not know it, but you're about to be scrapped. You're becoming obsolete equipment.
You're wrong, Radin. The human element is as important.
The human element is gone. All gone.
Where's the garage? I think my valves need grinding. You'll be seated back there for takeoff, Mr. Radin. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them.
Where's that fancy radio?
Controls are here on my left. The tuners and amplifiers are back in the ECM station. Oh, there's your radio connection and interphone back there on your left. Plug your helmet cord in there. You ever been in a jet, Mr. Radin?
Nope. How fast are we going? Of course, we're still just crawling. 600 knots ground speed.
Crusader Zulu, this is Mixmaster, over.
Mixmaster, this is Crusader Zulu. Go ahead.
Report completion of refueling number 1. Tanker is on time.
Will do, Mixmaster.
What's up?
We are. Off the south tip of Sea Line, on schedule.
Of course. What else? That's the way it was planned, Captain.
I can see now this is going to be a long, long trip.
it come down. We're in the Philippines, all right.
Mixmaster, this is Crusader Zulu. We're at the correct altitude and position. Over.
Turn 5 degrees right. The tanker has you at 4 miles.
Roger.
There he is, Woody.
Crusader Zulu, what is your position? Over.
Pilot to navigator.
What is our exact position, Lieutenant?
"55 degrees, 30 minutes north. 161 degrees, 10 minutes west."
Good. You are now 17 minutes ahead of schedule. Report completion of refueling number 2.
Roger.
Start your checklist, Woody.
I'd hate to be out there without my long underwear. Where are we now? 10 miles southwest of Fairbanks. That's the tanker up ahead.
This is Alpha Savage. Are you ready for refueling, Crusader?
Receiver ready.
What's wrong?
I don't know, sir. It won't stay in contact. Something's wrong with the toggle.
Alpha Savage, take a look at our refueling receptacle. Does everything look normal?
Looks okay from here.
Stand by, Alpha Savage. We have some trouble.
Take over, Woody. I'll have a look.
Crusader Zulu to Alpha Savage. Toggles are jammed. Stand by, please.
Will do.
The air refueling toggles are jammed. That means we can't get the nozzle to stay in contact, and that means we can't take on fuel.
And I suppose that means you won't be able to break that speed record after all. Tragic.
It might be a lot more tragic than you think, mister. We've got just so much JP4 fuel on the ship. When that's gone, there isn't any more. These B-52s don't glide very well.
No use, Colonel. They're jammed tight. Even the emergency boom latching won't work.
These things are supposed to be fail-proof. They are, Woody. That's what worries me. It's actually a fairly simple mechanism. Wait a minute.
Alpha Savage, this is Crusader Zulu. Over.
This is Alpha Savage.
Get out your binoculars and take a good look at our slipway.
Check. Will do.
I think I know what's wrong. My idea is correct.
Okay, Zulu.
What do you see?
Ice.
Okay, thanks. Stick around a while longer.
So?
Arc 58, Woody. SAC Mixmaster, this is Zulu. Important. Over.
This is Mixmaster. Come in, Zulu.
It's always nice to know you can call up the folks in Omaha.
Reporting air refueling toggles jammed.
What's the problem?
On our last refueling over the Philippines, we had to drop to 17,000 feet to pick up a tanker.
It was raining pretty hard. We got back up so fast the water froze and the ice froze the slipway toggles.
What are your instructions?
Hold course. We'll contact you. Colonel.
Zulu, this is Mixmaster. Recommend you use your alternate hydraulic system.
Hold on, we'll try it. No dice, Mixmaster.
Looks like we give up the speed record.
But the only answer is for you to lose altitude, Colonel. It's the only...
This is SAC Bravo. We've been following your situation. I'm afraid you won't gain anything by descending. Ground temperature at Fairbanks is 40 below. Suggest you head straight for Fairchild at Spokane. That is, if you have sufficient fuel.
SAC Bravo, this is Zulu. We can get within about 1,000 miles of Spokane. After that, we're out of fuel.
Now, I don't want to intrude in the operation, but in that case, hadn't you better try to land at Fairbanks?
Stand by. We have Mixmaster on now.
Mixmaster, what do you think?
Not much else to do under the circumstances. Zulu, you are advised to proceed to Fairbanks.
Zulu, this is SAC Delta. Fairbanks is socked in, ice fog. So is every other suitable field. Impossible to land.
Zulu, this is Mixmaster. You're advised to consider the possibility of abandoning the aircraft. This is Mixmaster. Do you read me? Consider the advisability of abandoning the aircraft.
Tell him to stand by. I want to think this thing out for myself.
Any ideas, sir?
No.
Pilot, this is Navigator.
Yes, Lieutenant. What is it?
I think I may have something, sir. Could you come back here for a moment?
Sure.
Man, oh man, I hope that boy does have something.
Alpha Savage, this is Zulu. Over.
Come in, Zulu.
How are you fixed for fuel?
We'll have to use most of the fuel we brought for you so we can reach Spokane.
Not so good. Okay, better leave now, Savage.
You gonna bail out?
Not if we can help it.
Good luck, Zulu.
Thanks, Savage. Mixmaster, this is Zulu.
Request ground temperature at Spokane.
What? Canyon, look here. Are you all right? You haven't got enough fuel to reach Spokane.
That's right, sir. We don't. Can you supply ground temperature?
Hang on.
I don't get it, Colonel. What are you playing?
A long shot, Woody. A long shot.
Zulu, this is Mixmaster. The ground temperature at Spokane is exactly 75 degrees Fahrenheit.
Good. Thanks, Mixmaster.
Have you considered that if you continue, you may have to bail out over water?
There isn't time to explain. Have Castle Air Base in California get a tanker loaded and ready to go. I'll check back. Hold course till I tell you differently, Woody.
Man, maybe you know what you're doing, but I sure don't.
You may have hit on it, Lieutenant. The ground temp at Spokane is 75. What do you think?
I don't know, sir. It's possible, but
not probable.
What's he trying to do? It's obvious we're going to have to ditch the plane.
I wouldn't be too sure.
Well, you heard what the radio said. They're the experts.
Yeah, but you see, those fellows are down there and we're up here. So that makes us just about even.
Excuse me, Mr. Raiden.
Anything work out, Colonel?
Just a second, Woody.
Mixmaster, this is Crusader Zulu.
This is Mixmaster.
Order a tanker to proceed from California to Vancouver Island. Rendezvous at exactly 24 past the hour. Over.
Will do.
What's it all about, sir?
Temperature at Fairbanks is 40 below. At Spokane, it's 75 degrees Fahrenheit.
But we don't have enough juice to make Spokane.
I know, but the thing is you don't go immediately from cold weather to hot. Somewhere between those two temperatures, there's a strata of air just warm enough to melt the ice from the toggles, maybe. Navigator figures we'll hit that warm air about 1,000 miles north of Spokane.
So we've got to go 2,100 miles.
Right. We might be able to make it if we're lucky. Not, we lose an $8 million plane. Well, let's go look for some warm air.
How far have we gone?
1,634 miles.
What about fuel? Almost 400 miles to go. We won't make it.
You could be right.
We can't bail out. We're over water. Maybe you'd like us to go back.
Try the toggles again, Woody.
No, sir, still stuck. How many more miles now?
We're just about there, Mr. Raiden.
We're empty. Well, we've had it.
There's the tanker now. Try that manual switch, Woody. It's now or never.
Man, we don't have a chance. That ice just ain't gonna melt.
Wait a minute. We can't melt the ice from outside, maybe.
Pilot to crew. We're almost out of fuel and the toggles are still jammed. There's one last chance, though.
There he is.
We're going to try to melt the ice by heating the cabin from the inside.
Turn it up, Woody. Degrees.
I used to think it got hot back in Sweetwater.
We're at maximum temperature now. Try it again, Woody. If that doesn't work, let's get out of here.
I'll try. They're free. Okay, Colonel, we're set.
Mixmaster, this is Crusader Zulu. We are ready for contact.
I'd sure hate to come any closer than that.
I wouldn't relax yet, Woody. We still have that record to break. Well, how do you feel, Mr. Raiden?
Resurrection.